Hi guys, what's up? What's up? Oh my god, how do YouTubers do this? Hey guys, what's up? My name is Marta. That's loud. My name is Marta. If you don't know who I am an artist based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and I recently released a song called Solid Ground. And if you do know who I am, then hello, it's nice to see you. Hi, also, this is future Marta coming at you after editing, realizing that I never turned off the cat fountain. You hear that nice little water sprinkling sound? I promise, no one's peeing. I just forgot to turn it off before filming. Now keep enjoying the rest of the video. I am typically not the greatest about recording all of the behind the scenes process and the creative process that goes into creating a song. But for this song, I specifically set out to record everything. And I, with my fantastic Final Cut Pro editing skills, have decided to put together this little video showing you the process of creating Solid Ground from start to finish. And of course, I hope you love the song, and please listen to it after this. I think it'll give you a little different view of what to listen for and what to think of it. So let's dive right in. There's been 3 songs up until now. Solid Ground is the last installment of a 3-part project. And the project overall is called the Quarantine Tapes because they are all songs that I wrote while I was at home and while I was sort of processing everything that was going on in my life and in our lives in general and in the world. The first installment is called Sketches, and it kind of got a lot of my disappointment and my fear and my disillusionment out. The Docs is a beautiful little slow song. Well, it's not little, it's like 6 minutes long, but it is a beautiful song, kind of going through all of the little things that I took for granted a lot of the times. And now that they're gone, I was like, wow, I really miss all of those things. So that is The Docs. And Solid Ground was sort of the light at the end of the tunnel for me. It was the song that I wrote when I realized that things were gonna be okay. The world was gonna keep turning, and all we could do was just turn right along with it. So yeah, that is the Quarantine Tapes, and this is going to be about Solid Ground. So the first step in creating a song for me is to hit the little record button on voice memos. And usually the way that I write is I'll get an idea for a melody and lyrics typically at the same time, and I will hit the record button, and then later I will go back and add any sort of chords or instrumentation to it, but it always starts with the melody and the lyrics first. This that I'm about to show you is the original voice memo. So the context of why I'm singing so quietly and why there's people talking in the background is because this was written, I believe, in April. And we decided that we were going to get together with a few very, very close friends. And for the first time in about a month, and even probably longer, we had like something sort of like a social event to look forward to. So I was sitting there in the car and I noticed that the trees looked beautiful. They were thriving, the sky was blue, the birds were singing, full bloom, flowers everywhere, like spring in the most beautiful capacity that I have yet to see it. And there I was sitting in the car thinking about all the things that I had lost. And I just thought to myself, you know, at least spring is coming around. And so I thought to myself, man, that I can hear something in my head sort of starting with that. And I started with the ooh, spring is coming around, the flowers bloom even if we're breaking down. And I just thought, okay, that's kind of fun, that's kind of cute, I like that, let's follow that. And so the entire time in the car on the way there, I was thinking through this little chorus. So we got to our family friend's house, and immediately I was like, hi, oh, how are you? It's so great to see you. Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta pee. I did not need to pee. I went to the bathroom, and you can hear everyone in the background of the voice memo just talking and, you know, yapping away. And I'm sitting in the bathroom going, ooh, the spring is coming around. So that is the voice memo. Yeah.
is coming around, and ooh, the flowers bloom even if we're breaking down. Ooh, there is joy yet to be found in little things like little dreams and silent sounds. We keep turning around.
I decided that this was going to be a fun song. I wanted it to be a positive song. So I took out my ukulele and I figured out some chords. And this is that little draft process that I posted on Instagram that got a really good response. So I was really excited about being able to actually share the full song with everyone.
I opened the windows thinking, if I let the light in, maybe I won't feel alone. We feel an empty house, but if I think too loud, it's all so far and yet so close.
So one thing you're probably going to notice is that the lyrics are actually different in the Instagram video than they are in the final song. And that's because I edited the lyrics for Solid Ground so many times because it felt like the more we moved on during this pandemic, the more something different upset me. And I finally settled on the final lyrics because I just knew that if I kept going, I was going to keep editing forever. I brought this song, as well as the other songs in the quarantine tapes, to my guitarist, and so we started going through and turning the ukulele chords into more guitar-friendly chords and just coming up with a guitar pattern as opposed to a ukulele pattern, because I knew that I wanted the final track to be guitar.
All right, let's go. We're out of coffee, it's been 2 weeks in, and if this isn't madness, then what is?
And then it was studio time! So we brought it to the studio, to my producer, whose name is Foster. He worked with me on the Him Volume 1 EP, and I knew that I wanted to work with him again for this one. And so what you'll see next is a little clip of us in the studio recording the guitar. And if you have already heard the song, the final song, you will notice that the guitar is completely different in the actual final track. And that is because we spent time recording the guitar. And after a while, when Foster and I were listening to where the track was going and we were developing the production for it, and we realized that the guitar pattern that we had originally recorded in the studio with Robert just didn't feel right anymore. The song had sort of taken a completely different direction. Foster texted me one day and he was like, I totally changed the guitar part. And I listened to it and it was way more appropriate for where the song was going. And that's why it sounds totally different, but that is the fun part of, you know, creating a song, is you get to change things along the way, and now you get to know what it was like before anybody heard it, which is kind of cool. So after the guitar, we recorded some scratch vocals. And the funny thing is actually that I'm usually really, really picky and precise about my vocals, but the take that we got during this session actually sounded pretty great. I don't know, it just sounded great the way that it was. And so we decided, all right, we'll keep that very first take. And the vocals that you're about to hear that I was recording in the studio as a scratch vocal actually ended up being the final vocals on the track. I never know my own friggin' lyrics. Okay, there we go.
We're out of coffee, it's been 2 weeks in, and if this isn't madness, then what is? But ooh, can you give me metronome?
Yeah. So we were fine until that section, and
like,
there's
no,
nothing.
No. But ooh, spring's coming around. Ooh, the flowers bloom even if we're breaking down. Ooh, there is joy yet to be found in little things like little dreams and quiet sounds. We'll find solid ground.
Next is a lot of me sitting. It is not very visually interesting, but it is, to me, kind of one of the more fun parts because I get to sit back and watch Foster create his magic. I wanted it to be a happy song. I wanted it to be a fun song, but I didn't want it to just be blindly happy. So we did add some really interesting elements that added just a tiny, tiny bit of tension underneath, which were really fun for me to listen to.
I think I like it.
Okay.
It might, like, within the context of the whole song, it might be like, what? So, well, we'll see.
We'll leave it for next
But I think I like it.
So one of the other sort of layered elements that we included were birds chirping. When I knew that I wanted to add birds to the song, I would just take out my phone and walk around with my phone and record the birds singing. And so we added that into the track, and you can hear it at the beginning and at the end and a little bit all throughout. Another thing that I recorded was when I was back home for Thanksgiving. Oh my God, were we still in quarantine in Thanksgiving? We started in March. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Holy shit. Okay. One of the other things that I recorded was my family talking on Thanksgiving. So we had created these little appetizers, and for some reason we were divided on whether or not we liked these appetizers. So I just thought it was really funny, and so I took out my phone and I put it on the table. I want to add voices talking to the beginning and the end of Solid Ground. So let's just talk and see what comes out. And what came out apparently was an argument about whether or not the appetizers were good. So that is what you hear. It is in Italian, so if you don't understand the words, that might be why. We also definitely edited them so that they were basically unintelligible. And then the very last step, once everything was done, is we wanted to add some harmonies. And what you're about to hear is me hitting the highest note in my belt after a very long time of not really doing a whole lot of intense professional singing. So I warmed up really well, I went in and I went for it. And I actually did have quite a few cracks, but not as bad as I thought. So what you're about to hear, I'm going to spare you the voice cracks. What you're about to hear is a take that actually went smoothly all the way through.
Can we finally learn to love? Can we finally do no harm?
So those were kind of the final steps. We recorded the harmonies and then it was off to mixing and mastering. So that's it. Many, many months of work condensed into this little video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was at least mildly interesting. And you can find Solid Ground as well as the rest of the songs from the quarantine tapes on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all of the streaming platforms, and I'll attach links in the description below. I'll also attach to the end of this video the final teaser that we had for Solid Ground so that you can hear at least a little bit of what the final track sounded like. But if you want to hear the full song, please feel free to go stream it. I hope you guys go have a stellar day. Look at some flowers, drink some tea, you know, say hi to your pet for me. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time.
We'll find solid ground. Find solid ground.